Hey there, and we're looking today at the Theory Workbook Level 1A, pages 27 and 28. And these are all about intervals, right? We've hit seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths. That's all that we're doing here. So the first page, 27, is all about identifying them. And some of them are easier to see, right? The seconds are really simple because they're always kind of next to each other. They shove them next to each other. You notice, like, if you try to make a second like this, where you stack them, right, then you end up with just a mush. So that's why they push one to the side. And usually the bottom one is on the left, the top one is on the right. So just as you're writing, as you're getting used to them, you'll see that. All right, so looking at thirds, it's always like a little snowman, right? They're always stacked on top of each other, line note, or space, space, but no extra space in between, right? So they're touching. The fourth is a little bigger, right? One's a space, one's a line, right? And I think we've talked about this. If it's an even number, like a fourth or a second, you should have one of each. One line note, one space note, or opposite, right? So all the even numbers eventually will hit sixths, right? In the next semester, same thing. So just watch for that. And then the fifth, kind of like the third, but you're skipping a whole thing in between, right? You got line and line, but skipping a line. And this is space, space, skipping a space. So bigger space in there. There should be a gap. All right, so as you're identifying, you can see these pretty quickly. That's a fifth. These are both line notes, right? And touching each other. So that's a third. Right, pretty simple. This is, if you're counting them, you can go 1, space is 2, line 3, 4, 5. This is a fifth. Right, but you can also check line and line, big line in between, right? There's another third, right? So they're not that hard. Doesn't matter if it's right hand or left hand, wherever it goes, it's just the size. All right, so hopefully that page will make sense. And then page 28 is just the opposite. You're building intervals. So this is a little bit harder. It takes a little more thinking. And watch the arrow. So like this one, it says third and then up. So they want a third above the note that they gave you. All right, so that's a line note. Should be another line note touching. So that's if you're doing treble clef, that's a C. It's the E right above it. Right, and you can also see it on the piano if you play it. C, skip the D, which would be a second. The E is the third. All right, same thing here. It's a third up. So you got to make a F above that. Right, space to space. This one's a second. So just like we said, you shove it to the side. That's a D. It's got to be the next note's the E. So we're pushing it over here. Right, so you can see it. The fifth, you can count them, or you can count, there's a third, another third, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should just be this line here. Right, so again, if you're thinking it's an odd number, should be both line notes. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. As you move to the second line, it's bass clef. It doesn't really matter for now, but they do say go down a fourth. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, it should be that space note right there. So as you're drawing these, just make sure if it's a space note, stay between the lines. If it's a line note, try not to hit the next line. Right, don't make them too big. A second down, right, it should be that's a B, it should be the A underneath. And we're going to put it on the left because it's a lower note. Stick it there. All right, so hopefully that works out. As you get into the third line, the fourth line, some of these are up. These are already written in there. And some of them are down, right? So just watch for that arrow. So like this one, it says down a third, second, third is right here. This is up a fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And go through and check if it's an odd number, line, line, space, space, line, space, space, right? We're doing good. This is a fourth, so it should be, that's the line. We should have a space note. Right? You start to get really good at seeing them. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. As you finish out the page, right, it's all just watch the arrows. Some are up, some are down. All right, that's all. Thanks.